Defeat against Ingolstadt last weekend wasn't going to dampen the festive spirit for Leipzig fans, especially if they could bounce back against capital club Hertha Berlin. That's exactly what they did. The only surprise was that Hertha held out as long as the 41st minute. Timo Werner's 9th goal of the season put the home side on their way to victory. After that, it was just the case of how many. Leipzig restrained themselves to just one more, courtesy of Willi Orban. Leipzig back to the top of the table on Saturday evening, but would Bayern peg them back the following day? Either way, Leipzig weren't going to hold back on the celebrations. A day later, the celebrations in Darmstadt were being led by this man, Douglas Costa, with a smile as Bayern let out a big sigh of relief. 71 minutes into a game in which neither team had impressed, the Brazilian produced this moment of magic. Just his 3rd goal of the season, but one that will live long in the memory, and one that can sign Darmstadt to their 11th defeat this term. They remain bottom as Ancelotti's men retake top spot ahead of the mouthwatering clash everyone is waiting for. On Wednesday night, it's Bayern versus Leipzig. The only undefeated team in the league going into matchday 15 was Hoffenheim. Against Dortmund, they thundered out of the blocks and were a goal up in just 3 minutes. Mark Uth, the man on target. But Borussia aren't a team that rolls over after going behind. The equaliser evoked a sense of déjà vu. Mario Götze on the scoresheet for the first time in the Bundesliga since his return to the club. One reason for Hoffenheim's fine start to the season has been striker Sandro Wagner. His 8th of the campaign put the hosts back in front. If that wasn't bad enough for Dortmund, a 2nd yellow card for Marco Reus before half-time made a fight-back look unlikely. The visitors continued to live dangerously, especially when Wagner was just a post's width away from a brace. But even with 10 men, Dortmund aren't to be underestimated and have the speed and skill with the likes of Ousmane Dembele in their ranks. Even more so when Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is on the end of it. Number 16 for the Bundesliga's leading scorer and his 100th in all competitions for the club. 2-2 the way it finished. By contrast, Mainz's Danny Latzer was looking for his first Bundesliga goal and he had to endure Hamburg opening the scoring through Bobby Wood. Then came Latzer's moment to shine. He failed to hit the net in his previous 33 games, but having got the taste for it on 35 minutes, he just kept on scoring. And why change a winning formula? After the break, he struck from almost the same position, and for good measure, he repeated the trick, just with even more panache. 3-1 to Mainz, a hat-trick, and a day to remember for Danny Latzer. In the other games of the weekend, Schalke drew 1-1 with Freiburg, Augsburg beat Gladbach 1-0 under new coach Manuel Baum. Bremen and Köln shared the spoils 1-1, Wolfsburg were 1-0 victors over Frankfurt, and on Sunday, Ingolstadt claimed a valuable 3 points in Leverkusen. So it's as you were at the very top, with Bayern ahead of Leipzig on goal difference alone. Hoffenheim have leapfrogged Hertha into 3rd, while Dortmund have also moved up a place following Frankfurt's defeat, keeping the chasing pack incredibly tight. Meanwhile, Mainz have returned to the top half. In the lower half, Augsburg's win against Gladbach means the clubs have places. Further down, Wolfsburg's win keeps the club out of the bottom 3, while Ingolstadt's impressive win moves them into the relegation playoff spot above Hamburg, remain bottom.